A janitor named Ronald Red died in 2014. He worked minimum wage his entire life. Pumped gas. Swept floors. Never earned more than a modest salary. When he died, his lawyer opened his will and found $8 million in investments. The same year, Richard Fuscone, a Harvard-educated executive, former vice president of Merrill Lynch, filed for bankruptcy. Two men. One had every financial advantage imaginable. The other had none. The janitor died rich. The executive died broke. This is not a fairy tale. This is the opening of The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel, a book that proves wealth has nothing to do with intelligence and everything to do with behavior. Today I'm breaking down 7 money truths from this book that nobody tells you. Let's get into it. Truth 1. No one is crazy with money. Morgan Housel starts with a controversial idea. He says every single financial decision a person makes, even the terrible ones, makes perfect sense to them in that moment. A person born into poverty sees money as something that can vanish overnight, so they spend it quickly. A person raised in a wealthy household sees investing as normal because that's what they watched their parents do. Someone who grew up during a stock market crash will fear the market forever. Someone who grew up during a boom will think stocks only go up. Housel says your personal experience with money makes up maybe 0.0000001% of what has happened in the world, but it makes up maybe 80% of how you think the world works. This matters because we judge other people's money decisions using our own experience. But their experience is completely different. Nobody is crazy, they're just playing a different game shaped by a different life. Understanding this is the first step to understanding your own money blind spots. Truth 2. Luck and risk are the same thing. Bill Gates went to one of the only high schools in the entire world that had a computer in 1968. The odds of a teenager having access to a computer back then were roughly 1 in a million. Gates was brilliant, absolutely. But without that one lucky accident of attending Lakeside School, there is no Microsoft. Now here's the other side. Gates had a classmate named Kent Evans, equally brilliant, equally driven, equally passionate about computers. Kent Evans died in a mountaineering accident before graduating high school. Same school, same talent, same odds, opposite outcomes. Housel's point, every success story includes luck that people ignore. Every failure includes risk that people ignore. The problem is we credit success entirely to hard work and blame failure entirely on bad decisions. The takeaway: when things go right, be humble. Luck played a role. When things go wrong, be compassionate with yourself. Risk played a role. Never judge your entire financial future based on a single outcome. Truth 3. The hardest financial skill is getting the goalpost to stop moving. Rajat Gupta was worth $100 million. He was CEO of McKinsey, one of the most powerful consulting firms on the planet. But he wanted to be a billionaire. So he engaged in insider trading with a hedge fund. He got caught and went to prison. Bernie Madoff was already wealthy before he started his Ponzi scheme. He didn't need the money. He needed the status. Housel says the danger isn't being broke, it's having enough and still wanting more. When your goalpost keeps moving, no amount of money will ever satisfy you. He writes, there are things never worth risking no matter the potential gain. Your reputation, your freedom, your family, your happiness. The moment you risk what you have and need for what you don't have and don't need, you are playing a game you cannot win. Enough is not too little. Enough is knowing when to stop. Truth 4. Compounding does the heavy lifting. Warren Buffett's net worth is roughly $130 billion. Here's the part nobody talks about. $128 billion of that came after his 50th birthday. And over $120 billion came after his 65th birthday. Buffett didn't become the greatest investor because he found the best returns. His average annual return is around 22%. Incredible, but others have beaten it. Jim Simons averaged 66% annually. Yet Simons is worth a fraction of Buffett. The difference? Buffett started investing at age 10 and never stopped. He gave compounding 75 years to work. Simons started in his 50s. Housel says, good investing is not about earning the highest returns. It's about earning pretty good returns that you can stick with for the longest period of time. Compounding doesn't need brilliance. It needs patience and time. The real money isn't made in a single year. It's made in the years you didn't quit. Truth 5. Getting money and keeping money are two different skills. Getting money requires risk, optimism, and putting yourself out there. Keeping money requires the exact opposite: humility, fear, and paranoia that it could all disappear tomorrow. Housel uses the example of Jesse Livermore, one of the greatest stock traders in history. In 1929, During the market crash that destroyed millions of people, Livermore shorted the market and made the equivalent of $3 billion in today's money, in a single day. He was on top of the financial world. Within 4 years, he lost everything because he kept taking bigger and bigger risks. The lesson: survival is the ultimate financial strategy. If you stay in the game long enough, compounding does the work. But one catastrophic loss, one moment of overconfidence, one all-in bet, and decades of progress vanish overnight. Housel's rule: be optimistic about the future but paranoid about what could prevent you from getting there. Truth 6. A few tail events drive the majority of results. Amazon tried dozens of projects. The Fire Phone, Amazon Auctions, Amazon Destinations, Amazon Local. All failures. But Amazon Web Services and Prime, just 2 ideas, drive the majority of Amazon's profits today. Venture capital works the same way. Out of every 50 investments, most will fail. A few will do okay. But 1 or 2 will return 1000x and pay for every single loss combined. Housel applies this to personal finance. Most of the growth in your investment portfolio will come from a handful of stocks during a handful of days. If you panic sell during a crash and miss the 10 best trading days over 20 years, your returns get cut in half. The point: you can be wrong most of the time and still win big. You don't need every decision to be right. You just need to stay invested long enough for the tail events to find you. Truth 7. Wealth is what you don't see. Someone drives a $200,000 car. What do you know about them? Exactly one thing: they have $200,000 less than before they bought the car. Or worse, they have a $200,000 loan. Housel makes a sharp distinction between being rich and being wealthy. Rich is a current income. A doctor earning $500,000 a year is rich. Wealth is the money you haven't spent. It's the cars not purchased. The watches not bought. The house upgrade you skipped. Wealth is invisible. That's what makes it so hard to learn from. You can't see anyone's wealth. You can only see their spending. And we accidentally copy spending thinking we're copying wealth. Housel writes, the only way to be wealthy is to not spend the money that you do have. It's not just the only way to accumulate wealth, it's the very definition of wealth. The final lesson of this book is this: money is not about spreadsheets, formulas, or stock picks. Money is about behavior. And behavior is about psychology. Master your psychology and money follows. Ignore it and no salary on earth will save you. Outro, 650. If this video rewired even one belief you had about money, hit that like button and subscribe. I break down the best books into pure, no-filler knowledge every single week. Send this to someone who needs to hear truth number 3 before it's too late. See you in the next one.